So now we can pick up where we had left off. Is this something you feel you want to try on your own, or do you just want to continue to work together as a group? I need input as a group. Okay, so again, remember, you need to decide if you are a common name person, which to me is a lot easier. Okay, what do we have right now then? We have toluene. Okay, now there's different ways that you can name these. Now you could say this is the most common place to have that is at 12 o'clock. So we know we've got toluene. Okay? There's two different ways that you can name that. There's one really short way of doing it, or you could give the numbers of both of those, or give the number of where that derivative is located. So, what number is this methyl group located at? 4. But where is 4 in reference to 1 then? Because remember we had 1 comma 2, there's 1 comma 3, and then there's 1 comma 4. You said it. Para. Now, one of the things you got to be careful of, and I think you'll know the answer, is that if this is number 2 over here, let's say we had a Cl on there, where else could number 2 be located? If this is number 2, which it is, where else could number 2 be located? If it's not this one, it could also be where? Yeah, it could also be over here. That could also be number 2, okay? Because remember, when we name these, sometimes they go clockwise, sometimes they go counterclockwise. So the 2 position, if this one's 1, that can be 2 or that can be 2. If this is number 1, 3 can be down there, or it could be over on that side. Okay, so you said that is a para position. You could write this as para dash methyl toluene. What else could you say with that? Well, it could, then you would say 1 comma 4 dimethyl what? Nope. When you say toluene, you're saying that there's a methyl group on there already. So yes, you could say 1 comma 4 dash dimethyl benzene. That's the same as saying paramethyl toluene. That's why we said you have to decide, am I a common name person or a scientific name person? That's the difference. Okay? But my suggestion is doing that, because it's a lot shorter, then there's less to remember. Okay? We could also call that 4-methyl what? Toluene. Okay? Remember, when you're using these common names, when you say toluene, you're already accounting for one of those methyl groups. And that's why they're utilized. Okay? Are we okay with this here? Are we on the bus? Left outside, middle, right side, okay? So does this one have a common name? And maybe page 360 would help. I should have told you to grab them. My bad, your mistake. I can't believe I just said my bad. I never say that. or my bad, your fault. No, no one's at fault. I do believe it's page 360. It's got 4 benzene rings on the top, and it tells you what those common names are, whether it's methylbenzene or toluene, aniline or aminobenzene. But in this case, does this one here have a common name? Phenol. Yep. You can call it phenol. Okay? So if you don't call it phenol, what else could it be? Starts with an H. Hydroxybenzene. Okay? So as we look at that then, okay, so we said phenol. So right at that moment when you write phenol, you know you've got a benzene ring and you know you have an OH group on there. Okay? So if you do the abbreviated form with no numbers, what abbreviation is that for that bromo group? You are right, but what is O called? O. O? Ortho, yes. We want you to know what it means though too. Okay, so remember this guy here is ortho, this guy here is meta, and then this one we've done was the para position. So that's what we're trying to describe here, because if this bromine group is down there, okay, that's also an ortho position because this one's number 1, that one's number 2. Okay, but we'll go back to how we had it. Okay. And also, anytime you're naming these, okay, when you say phenol, you're saying that this is number 1, and that is correct. Just like we put that dash circle around that methyl group for toluene, when you say that, that's automatically the first carbon. So now, when we look at this, you could say, like you had mentioned, Tori, you could say O for the ortho position because it's 1, 2. We've got 1, 2, ortho, and then how do you abbreviate bromine? Ortho, bromo, phenol. You might think you're struggling with this, but this is something that you've never seen before. So please be patient with it and give yourself some credit. This is not the easiest material to learn, to see for the first time, learn, comprehend, and be able to communicate that information effectively. But if you did not want to use orthobromophenol, what else could you write that as? You could use a number. You could use 2-bromophenol. Remember, every time you say the common name, you're saying that's the 1 position. And the 1 position is not always up here on top, okay, or the 12 o'clock position. The 1 can be anywhere on that ring. So orthobromophenol or 2-bromophenol. Okay. Are we good? Okay. Now let's go ahead and do this one. Does NO2 have a common name? I don't believe it does. It would be in that row of 4. four main ones are toluene, aniline, phenol, and is it carboxy? Benzoic acid. Yes, that's right. Okay. So, NO2 does not have a common name, but NO2 is a nitro group. Okay? So, now, with that, where would be the most common place you would give the number one position on a ring structure like this? Do you think? Where's the most common place you would give the number one position on a benzene ring? Yeah, on the top. So right away, we know that that one's number one. Okay? So then, where is the second nitro group then? It's on the third one. Obviously, we wouldn't go counterclockwise because then you would get 5. So this one's number 3. And since it does not have a common name to it, these are both nitro groups. Okay? So where are those nitro groups located? On the numbers 1 and 3. One. Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. 1 and 3. God darn, I can't. Okay. Yes. Anyway, I'm all flustered. Okay. It's a good thing that wasn't on camera. No, that's off camera. Okay. So we've got 1, 3 dash what? No, there's no abbreviations for these. They have to be common names. Okay, so di, you're right. And what type of group did we say these were? 1, 3 dash dinitrobenzene. Okay. That's correct. Yep. Because remember, when you're doing that, okay, at any given time, the moment that you say toluene, you're saying that that's at the number one position, okay? And you would just call that toluene or methylbenzene. But if it does not have a common name like this, then you have to name both of those. So there is no ortho, meta, para type designations or naming. Okay. Now, as we proceed forward, does this have a common name? NH2. Yes. Yes. Now, so we can call this aniline. Okay. So again, right away, once you say aniline, you know that somewhere on that ring is a what group? NH2, or an amino group. Okay? Now, you can't use an ortho, meta, or para designation. Do you think you might know why? Because there's 3 derivatives on here, and you can't do that for that designation. Okay? So, now you just go around like a clock, and you wouldn't say 4, 5. Rather, you would say what? 3, 4 dash di what? This one's kind of confusing. Iodo, yes. Di, now you're going to have 2 I's in a row. I know that's kind of confusing when you do. Is there 2 C's in vacuum or 2 U's in vacuum? So, for some reason, you got 2 U's in vacuum. Okay, so you're going to have two I's in iota. Okay. And then finally, our last one. Is there a number name? Is there a different name you could give to this? Yes, there is. You could call that 3, 4 dash diiodo. Oh, not aniline again. We're just doing the same thing. Amino benzene. Because this here is an amino group that we're establishing. But once you give that common name, it just makes it a lot easier and a lot shorter in naming these compounds. Okay, then finally, does this have, yes, it's toluene, but if you want to eliminate one of the numbers, you would call that toluene. Otherwise, you'd have to put them in alphabetical order. So, again, once you establish that as toluene, this right here is number 1. Then, alphabetically speaking, after that, okay, sterilizer's getting warm. That's what that is. What group is this? And this is, okay, so alphabetically, which one's first? Chloral. So, upon doing that, what number is this in reference to that? 4-chloral. Okay. Then this guy is, if we go this way, because we know that this one comes first, right? Yeah. So you're going to go this way, but yet this is still written first because it's in alphabet. Because this one's number 1, okay? Then in alphabetical order, okay, this is an ethyl group, this is a chloral group. Alphabetically, this one comes first, okay? So then we got 4-chloral dash, what number is this one then? 2. And then toluene. Okay. Okay. Are we on the bus, do we think? Are we doing good? I did not realize this had more. I thought maybe this was maybe 10 questions, but I think it's actually 20. So up there I have it due on Thursday. Let's have these due on Friday instead. Fair enough? Or are we going to say, no, it says Thursday, so it's got to be due on Thursday? Oh, you're okay? Okay. All right. As long as you're okay with that. Okay. So you've got a little over 10 minutes. This time is then yours. Now, as you look at this first page, none of them have any common. One of them does. Okay? Or excuse me. You can use common names for all of them, but you just can't use any abbreviations for that. That's not until page 2. You can use that ortho, para, and meta directions. Okay? Now tomorrow, we'll see how this goes. We may start some of the organic reactions that accompany this material. Okay? And that's why, that's when you're going to use that flow chart that was given to you. All right, we'll pick up with this tomorrow.